Have you ever wondered what secrets lie beyond our solar system? What if a message from the edge of space could change everything we know about the universe? This is the story of Voyager, humanity's boldest journey into the unknown. Space is vast. It is an endless, silent ocean of black, punctuated by the distant light of stars long dead. For nearly half a century, a tiny man-made vessel has sailed this cosmic sea. Voyager 1. A ghost ship from a world it can no longer see. Its instruments, once sharp and new, are now ancient relics, battered by cosmic rays, weakened by the relentless passage of time. The silence out here is profound, a pressure so immense it feels like a physical weight. It is a quiet that has persisted for decades. Or so we thought. In a quiet, forgotten corner of a NASA control room, a single monitor flickers. An antique legacy system, kept more for sentiment than use. Do you remember 1977? It was a time of bold ambition, a moment when humanity looked up at the stars, not with fear, but with an unshakable sense of wonder. Tucked aboard each Voyager spacecraft is a golden record, a message in a bottle cast into the cosmic ocean. It is a greeting card from Earth, a collection of sights and sounds intended to tell our story. There are images of our people, our cities, our planet's natural wonders. There are greetings spoken in 55 languages, a symphony of human voices reaching out in friendship. We sent our story, our art, our hope, into the void. For decades, that message traveled in silence. We never truly prepared for the possibility that the universe might talk back. It began with a single spike on a forgotten monitor at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. A blip. An irregularity. The initial reaction was dismissal, but it didn't go away. The blip returned, stronger, more defined. Not a random burst of energy. A structured pulse repeating at a precise interval. Panic is a quiet thing in a room full of scientists. A sudden, intense silence. Minutes later, the lab's top minds crowded the monitor, eyes locked on the pulsing line. They isolated the signal, stripping away cosmic background noise. What remained was impossible. A clean, digital stream. Data, not natural. Artificial, deliberate, coming from the exact location of Voyager 1, 15 billion miles away. The signal was not from Voyager, it was through Voyager. Something had found our tiny probe and was using it as a relay. The first task was decryption. But how do you decode a message from a mind that is not human? The world's best cryptographers and data analysts worked around the clock, fueled by coffee and a terrifying urgency. The patterns were unlike anything our computers had ever seen. They were complex, layered, deeply mathematical, and alien in logic. As the scientists worked, a picture began to emerge from the data. It was not a verbal message, not a greeting in any language we could understand. It was visual. The binary code was a set of instructions for a three-dimensional model. They were schematics, blueprints. The structures were vast. Some resembled crystalline lattices, branching out like frost on a window pane for millions of miles. Others were perfect spheres, impossibly smooth, containing concentric rings of orbiting machinery. We had sent them a song by Chuck Berry. They had sent back the blueprints for a machine that could swallow stars. The asymmetry was terrifying. The signal did not stop with schematics. As the team refined their decryption algorithms, a new layer of data began to resolve. A map. The coordinates were familiar. The map was of our own solar system. It showed objects, massive artificial structures hidden in plain sight. They were lurking in the chaotic orbit of the Kuiper Belt. They were nestled in the Lagrange points of Jupiter and Saturn. They were everywhere. The Voyager probes had not been venturing into an empty wilderness. They had been flying through someone else's backyard. Someone who had been watching us all along. Our entire history had unfolded under the silent gaze of an unseen audience. The revelations were catastrophic. We were not explorers discovering the universe. We were subjects in a petri dish, unaware of the microscope pointed down at us. The universe was not empty space we were destined to inherit. It was occupied territory. The signal from Voyager 1 was not first contact. It was a reveal, a pulling back of the curtain, a declaration that the time for observation was over and a new phase was about to begin. The signal from Voyager 1 eventually stopped. After weeks of continuous transmission, it ceased as abruptly as it had begun. The silence was different now. Not the peaceful quiet of empty space, the silence of being watched. Out there, Voyager 1 continues its journey. It sails on, forever outbound, a silent witness. But now, it carries a new burden. It is no longer just a messenger from humanity. It is a monument to the day the universe answered back. The final image from the data stream was not a schematic or map. It was a simple repeating pulse, a question mark, rendered in the universal language of mathematics. It was an invitation, a test. They revealed themselves, showed us their power, and then fell silent, waiting for our response. As the spacecraft fades, its pulsing heartbeat leaves us with one haunting question. If the universe answered, who is listening?
Explore the universe. Subscribe to Nebulynx Space.